Welcome back to Chasing News. I'm Bill Spadea. The battle over beer. New regulations handed down by the state of New Jersey have caused all kinds of controversy among craft brewers in the Garden State. Some small businesses saying it may not hurt them, others saying could drive them out of business. The Attorney General has said we're going to put a pause on these regulations until they can be studied further to determine what impact they could have on small craft breweries in the Garden State. But first, Monica Guy has the story. Monica?
Bill, there are 88 breweries in New Jersey, and the new regulations could mean big changes for every last one of them. The new regulations cap the number of events that breweries can host, like weddings and game nights. They also force breweries to get a permit from the ABC 10 days before any event. Some operations are pushing back against the new regulations, while others are in favor of them. Sean Galli is with the Lower Forge Brewery, and he opposes the new rules.
Breweries are really closer to coffee houses than bars, but this misperception has turned into a regulatory overreach, and it hurts. It's going to hurt our involvement here on Main Street and our involvement throughout South Jersey.
Galli is a member of the Independent Craft Brewers of New Jersey. It started an online petition titled Save New Jersey Beer. So far, it has more than 25,000 signatures. There's also a push, however, from operations that are in favor of the changes. Chris Walsh is with the River Horse Brewing Company in Ewing, and he says the new rules could actually help him build his business.
I can't speak for the industry or for small breweries, but for River Horse, this is a positive. We've got some clarity as to the events that we can do inside the brewery.
The Brewers Guild of New Jersey represents several craft breweries of different sizes in the state. It says there are still a lot of questions that need to be answered.
We've been asking for input from our membership about some of the aspects and how it would impact their business, and we're currently reaching out to ABC to get certain clarification on some of the parts of the special ruling.
Governor Murphy says that his administration is taking a look at the regulations to get a better idea of what it all means to small businesses. Reporting for Chasing News, I'm Monica Guy. Bill?
Thank you, Monica. Okay, let's bring back our A-plus panel to discuss this really contentious issue. Bill, I'm going to start with you on this. You're involved as the L-word lobbyist.
Yes.
It seems to me that you've got a bureaucracy that is now directly hurting small business.
To some extent, yes, but I will say this to you. There's been a lot of innovation that's occurred. When this law was adopted back in 2012, it's morphed in terms of what these businesses actually are. The director has promulgated the very first regulation for this industry, and it's pulled back in some ways. But the good news is the public is behind this industry. People want this. People want to go to their local brew pub, and it's absolutely apparent in what we've seen in the response.
Allison, isn't this, we saw this with Uber, you've got rideshare taking over the cabs, you've got this antiquated industry of medallions in the liquor world, you've got the antiquated idea of a very expensive liquor license and all these hoops to jump through. Isn't it time for home brew to just take over and let people do what they're going to do? Deregulate it. Let them earn.
It's a good analogy, and it really illustrates how industry, when free markets take over, is actually moving faster than our regulations and our laws. And so it's leaving the state assembly and the state legislature in different areas completely behind where industry and where businesses are going. So yeah, deregulate it and open up the markets. Let the markets decide.
I'm going to say something positive right now about Governor Murphy. I think it was a great reaction that he had. He brought it personally. He said, I'm a Bud guy, but my 21-year-old son, if he's drinking beer, he's drinking craft beer. And he said, this is something we want to get into. Do you think that it's fair that the governor is going to now get involved and you'll have swift action? Because with these new regulations, you are going to hurt these businesses while the Trenton bureaucrats and politicians figure it out.
I'm not sure what the governor can and will do. This is a problem that I think ultimately has to be addressed by the legislature. I think they have the ability to change this law, and I think they will. And I think the industry will then be able to function in a way that will be consistent with the regulations now, not in this sort of outlier place that they've been.
All right. I think it's time for a beer. Let us know what you think about this whole controversy back and forth. Hit me up on Twitter at Bill Spadea. Hit up the show at Chasing News, and we'll see you tomorrow night.